Hey yo, it's Christmas time. Don't you be watching this if you don't want spoilers for No Way Home. Merry Christmas, guys. This is my last video until next week, which would be Christmas. Christmas! Ah! Spider-Man 3, the last movie of our, and today is also the day Spider-Man No Way Home releases. I know one spoiler going in. Wish I didn't know it. So don't spoil yourself. Go watch it. Seriously. But anyway, let's talk about Sandman. Now, I would have talked about Venom as well, but I don't care about Venom, and he is terrible in this movie, so I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit, but mostly Sandman. So this movie starts, like all the other movies start, with those Alex Ross paintings in the spider webs. It's really cool. If you've not seen a Spider-Man movie, go watch them. They're really good. The Sam Raimi ones I'm talking about. The other ones too, but you know. So we get through these paintings and we get to the actual movie. And we start with Sandman running away from the police. He goes into the sand machine thing and gets turned into Sandman. And after waking up, we find out that he's a Sandman, a man of sand. And I guess we'll talk about this here because it does matter a little bit. He looks very 2000s-esque. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The effects look good, but they're not at the same standard as now. So a good analogy that I like to give, and I'll put the thing I just said on screen, and you've already seen that, and I'll put this on the screen as well. You have Mario 64 Mario and Mario 64 DS Mario. They give off a weird feel, and they don't. It's the same character, and one looks worse than the other. But when you're playing the game, one looks better than the other. And it's the opposite of what it should be. Same with the Bowsers. Same with like everything else in those two games that they changed is it just looks wrong. So with Sandman, having him look a certain way and then later him looking technically better but different from this version just makes it doesn't feel right to me. And maybe you don't see what I'm talking about, but maybe you do now that I've pointed it out, because this doesn't look the same. Not necessarily worse, but it just doesn't look like the same person. It's like a different character almost. So since we've done talking about that, we don't have to talk about that at the end. We have Sandman get out of this thing, and then he goes to his daughter, or maybe that happens before, but he goes to his daughter at some point who's dying, and he needs to steal money for her, so he does. Spider-Man comes and stops him, but not really, because he gets away because he's made out of sand. Bunch of stuff happens. Spider-Man gets the symbiote. Every time they do symbiote, it needs to be its own movie entirely, or several movies. Over the course of several movies, he has it, and it slowly degrades him, or something like that. That'd be way better. Or make it a show. Make it an episodic show. That'd be good. They can't do it like they've been doing it, where it happens while other stuff is happening. He gets a symbiote. He's with MJ, but he gets friend zoned, and this astronaut guy dates her. That bunch of stuff happens, and Eddie Brock is introduced, and he is a much worse photographer than Peter Parker is, and basically cheats to get the job that Peter wants by photoshopping black onto the regular Spider-Man costume, and that gets him fired. And Peter gets the job. And for this whole section of the movie, Peter's kind of just a jerk to everybody for no reason, because he has a symbiote. So Peter finally, eventually, gets the suit off, and gives it to Eddie accidentally. Then somewhere in there we find out that it's not entirely Sandman's fault, but somewhat his fault that Uncle Ben got shot, which I think is completely pointless. It connects him, but having that and Venom and Sandman, it's just too many. And Green Goblin for a little bit. It's just too much happening. Yeah, so in this movie, Harry is Green Goblin, and he wants to kill Peter for killing his dad. And then at some point, he loses his memory during a fight with Spider-Man. And he is good for a little bit, and then remembers, and then is bad again, but then is good again. It's stupid. He gets MJ to hate him. J. Jonah Jameson buys a camera from a little girl with no film in it. That's really funny. Sandman and Venom team up. They fight Spider-Man. Yay! Harry dies. So, you know. Anyway. Can't wait to see No Way Home. And after this video, go to my Instagram in the description. It's just going to be sitting there in the description. It'll also be on the screen at the end. Go there, and after I watch the movie, I'll have a little mini review in my story. And then next week, I'll be posting my No Way Home review. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. Just depends on how crazy I want to get. It won't be like this. It'll be more good. I just didn't really have time to make these this week. But I really do want to try and make these videos, and I really do want to try to make them good. There will be sections with this, but for the most part, it's going to be something different than this. So here we go. See ya.